Hey guys, it's Eric from Starcraft2Tactics.info, and I'm here today to show you the Proxy Pylon rush strategy. This is a real simple strategy, just about anybody can use it. Basically involves setting up a base right outside your opponent's base, and then either using that to rush or using it to just set up as a place to choke them and gather reinforcements. So let's watch. You see here I'm bringing a drone out early, a probe out early, and I'm just leaving him here hiding because typically I'll wait until I have a photon cannon to protect it, so he's just standing by right now. And then once I get my forge up, which is happening back in my base right about now, you'll see here I'm going to move him, and I'm going to have him build a pylon. Because what's going to happen right after this pylon's built, I'm going to put up a photon cannon so that it can be protected. Now it keeps going, and look, I don't just build one, I build like at least four or five of these, just to make absolutely sure that if they send any kind of infantry units my way, this place is choked off, they're not getting out of their base with ground units, which is what 98% of players are going to have at this time of the game. See, you can see there they're locked in, the Zerglings aren't getting out. Period. Neither are the Zealots. The Zealots are screwed. They just don't have the sheer numbers at this point in the game. But I have the numbers to lock them in because photon cannons are extremely powerful. So now what I'm doing is I'm basically just setting up camp. I'm letting my opponent roll in, and you know, he can guard or he can lure him out or he can distract him. He can do whatever he wants. The point is I've set up camp. So the first part of this is over. The next phase of getting things set up, you'll see right here, is to get an expansion and get a bunch of gateways so I can start massing in units like crazy. Because this is going to be like my new base of operations. This is where we're going to start dropping in units like mad. Let's see where we are. Yep, now I'm bringing in the gateways. I'm going to upgrade the gateways each to warp gates so that I can bring my units up here instead. Now, obviously, the one thing you're going to expect your opponent to do is to go air, which you can see he's doing right here. He's building Void Rays. I expected him to do that because his base was locked in. And it's practically the same story with his Zerg player, albeit he's a lot slower than his counterpart, which is why we ended up killing him first. Anyways, I expected him to do that, which is why I started surrounding my my mineral flow with photon cannons. You see here, this is a decent defense. He's not going to send one or two Void Rays at me and have me lose my whole mineral flow at this point. And in addition, I can bring in Stalkers for support once I get my Cybernetics core up. So we're chugging along here. We're keeping this maintained. Got siege tanks, got photon cannons. They're not getting through here on the ground, period, unless they bring something massive, which they don't seem to have put together at this point in the game. No one really does, to be honest with you, at this point in the game. It's only 10 minutes in. So I'm increasing the layers of the photon cannons to make sure they stay locked in. And you see we got siege tanks too, which are very helpful. Now about to go into the next phase of this. See, because this attack strategy has basically two phases. It has locking them in and taking them out. The first phase is locking them in. You do two things. You lock them in and you lock up your mineral flow. So I've got my mineral flow locked and I've got their base locked. They're not getting to me by the ground because their base is locked. And they're not getting to my mineral flow by air, which is the most important part of my base. So I'm essentially protected. I don't have to worry. And I have warp gates coming in, which means I can bring instant reinforcements if I'm attacked. It's a very, very thorough strategy. So you lock them in, and then you take them out. Those are basically the two phases of this strategy. Right now, it's about 14 minutes into the game. I'm just now moving into that second phase. I got my first 5 warp gates up. I'm ready to start blowing in Stalkers, and there they are. There's my first 5 Stalkers. I proxied these in. These babies are ready to kill. So I'm probably going to warp some more here in just a second. Yep, there they go. Another 5. I'm actually working on increasing that group to 7 from 5 to 7 so I can get even more. Now it looks like he's massing Hydras, so I'm going to see if I can lure his Hydras back to the siege tanks if I can get him in range. Or maybe we just won't fight, whatever. Anyways,